Well, as we've been talking about in the newscast, it's been nearly 1 year since a wildfire swept through Jasper, destroying a third of the buildings in town. It was July 24th, 2024. 25,000 people had to flee the national park and town site. And it was weeks before people living in Jasper could return. When they did, they began a tremendous rebuild that continues today. We are joined by Conrad Sauvé, who is the president and CEO of the Canadian Red Cross, who is in Jasper for us this morning. So good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. Let's begin with a year ago on Thursday. Can you tell us about the effort from the Red Cross in Jasper?
Yeah, no, absolutely. A pleasure to be here. I think it was a tremendous relief operation. As you know, 25,000 both tourists and, of course, residents evacuated mostly to Alberta, but somewhat to BC. And the efforts of all, but among other things, the Red Cross was to provide immediate shelter, financial assistance directly to people, and, of course, supporting small businesses as well in that moment. But as you mentioned, a tremendous effort to support those that were evacuated.
And that certainly lasted for weeks as people waited to get back into the town site. And then after that, what is happening there with the Red Cross now? Are you still in the community?
Yes, absolutely. And I think, what you see, of course, and we start with the relief operations, and then it's the rebuild. And, of course, there's a lot to celebrate in terms of the coordination and the hard work of everybody put in during the relief part. But there are many challenges ahead in terms of rebuilding. And of course, not all the communities affected the same way. Some people have lost their homes. And among the different challenges, of course, is you had a housing shortage in Jasper prior to the fires, and you eliminate about 30% of the housing. So there's challenges in terms of intermediary housing, but also the whole rebuild process that will happen in the months ahead. So the Red Cross is present to support people in the year ahead, in the years ahead.
What's the biggest challenge right now?
I'm sorry?
What is the biggest challenge for the Red Cross in helping out there right now?
I think the biggest two sides. One, intermediary housing. Making sure we can support the community with the intermediate housing, and then there's a lot of gaps for people in the rebuild. Insurance doesn't cover everything, and you want to rebuild and rebuild better. So supporting individuals that have lost their homes in this recovery journey is going to be the biggest area of work of the Red Cross in the coming months.
Now, we continue to see things like this, the Jasper fire, the Fort McMurray fire, flooding in this province. That's just in Alberta alone. More and more often, these types of disasters. How does the Red Cross keep up?
No, you're absolutely right. And I'm just back from Manitoba last week, where we're seeing one of the biggest evacuations in recent history again. I think what we need to recognize is that these are no longer exceptional events. I think this is not just about the Red Cross, but collectively as Canadians, we need to start realizing that we're going to see more of these types of events, and we need to be less reactive and start being better prepared for these, because there'll be more of these, as you said, in the future. For the Red Cross, we need to increase our base capacity, our ground capacity to respond. It used to be we'd have one exceptional event a year. Now we're seeing a season of events. So this is a new reality that, again, not just the Red Cross, but collectively we need to address as Canadians.
Do you think the federal government and the provincial government are doing enough?
I think it's collective. It's not just about the provincial government. It's about the federal government and the provincial governments. It's a collective effort. And of course, at the community level and the municipal level as well. The solutions are going to be in how we work together. And again, how do we put mechanisms in place to be better prepared? So not just one level of government, but collective.
Conrad Sauvé is with the Canadian Red Cross, is in Jasper as we come up on the year anniversary of the wildfire there. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We're going to have more coverage of the Jasper wildfire anniversary coming up on Thursday through the week here on CTV. You can also visit redcross.ca for more information.